What's up, guys? In this video, I'm joined with Eric, and he sells $6,000 a month in used books on Amazon FBA. And in this video, we're going to tell you exactly how you can do the same and how he got up to that level. So welcome to the show, brother. And
Hey,
if you
what's
want to
up?
tell people about how you got started and really how you got up to that $6,000 a month mark, that'd be awesome.
Cool. Yeah, no problem. Like a lot of people, it started the same, had a full-time job. Stress was just, too much. And, going to garage sales and thrift stores, watching the YouTube videos of these eBay sellers and, oh, I can do this, I can do that. And
Mm-hmm.
so I said, hey, let's do that for some extra spending money. And I did. And it was fun, felt like Indiana Jones there for a little while. Um, about I was working for the hospital during COVID, and that was pretty stressful. And I'd say about a year ago, my family and I decided that maybe I should just give a full time reselling thing a go, and I did.
Interesting. So your family actually was supportive.
Yeah, very supportive. I try to include them in all my decisions. You know, Family support and input is
Mm-hmm.
crucial to
That,
anything you do in
yeah,
life,
that's
really.
awesome. Because a lot of people out there don't have the family supporting them.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
they go to Thanksgiving like, "Oh, how's your little book business going? How's your little Amazon business going?" And they're like, "I
right.
just made 10K in profit last month."
Yeah, you can make a living doing that? Like,
Yeah.
really? Maybe you should get a real job.
Mhm.
You know, yeah, I've heard all those things, but I think being a reseller, and especially that when I switched to books, it's more work than anything I've ever done. I mean, constantly, being a business owner and an entrepreneur, um, it it's I never it's a dream I had, but it was like I want to open a restaurant. I'm 15 years
Mhm.
old. I'm going to open a cool bar, and people are going to come and hang out. And but here I am, all these years later. I sell books on Amazon and eBay.
Mhm.
So
Sexy.
yeah. Oh, it's so hot. Who doesn't love paper cuts?
Yeah. So walk us through kinda how you got to that because you're making a full-time living from this.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
kinda walk us through, like, your work week, what things people need to do if they wanna get the same results.
So I'm constantly scouring, like marketplace, um, Craigslist, Nextdoor. I have book pickup services that I have ads on Craigslist, Nextdoor, and a whole bunch of groups throughout northern Colorado, which is where I'm at. Um, and yeah, that's pretty much. And through those, I was able to establish connections with the state sale
Nice.
companies, libraries. Actually, the Loveland Library sale is actually coming up next week. Um, so I give a lot of my duds and things to them for their library sales. So kind of a toss the coin if I want to go because I've probably seen you know 15% of the books.
Yeah.
But I did my first library sale was the first one they had this year was like April or something like that. April, May, I can't remember. And it was unlike anything I had ever experienced. My nerves were insane. I normally don't bother mind crowds. I got there like an hour and a half early, and I was maybe 300th in line uh,
Mhm.
on,
Wow.
on the Friends of the library. Um, but yeah, so it was crazy. But typical work week, yeah, I scour the ads. I wake up, 3 o'clock in the morning. Um, start I start checking if there's any merchant fulfills that have sold. I'm not real heavy in merchant fulfill. I'm getting there, um, but mostly FBA. I do merchant fulfilled every once in a while, just since I've kind of trying to figure out. Amazon took me a long time because the learning curve between eBay and Amazon, um, as you probably know, is night and day. I mean, it's there's more to Amazon, but less, photography and descriptions and all that stuff. And then I kind of just get things ready for eBay. Whenever I do get a big haul, I usually get it processed in about, I don't know, a day or two,
Mhm.
sorted into piles and stacks and, whatever.
Yeah. So walk us through, like, so you're using Scout IQ and you're going to these places, you're just scanning as many as you can. Are you hanging out there for a couple hours?
Not really. I don't like the thrift stores. I stopped going to thrift stores once I realized that the prices got jacked up.
Mhm.
I have a local thrift store here that has a $5 basket, so I'll spend a couple hours there, um, filling that basket, 2 baskets, 3 baskets, whatever. They know me. They know what I look for. Um, Garage sales. If there's a garage sale post, I'll um, email or message them, however, and ask if there's going to be books. I don't want to waste my time going to garage sales if there's not books.
Mhm.
Um, and I'll scan, the CDs, DVDs, and the books. Um, when it really started to take off for me is I was having a garage sale at my house. A friend of mine came over and bought a whole bunch of video games and stuff like that because I was getting out of it. And I gave him my business cards. I had listened to FBA Dave, and he's like, "Get business cards and give it to every single person." And since I couldn't go out garage sailing, and he's a huge eBayer, I said, "Hey, if you stumble upon anybody that has books, give them my card. I will contact them. I'll come to their house. Well, whatever." 10 minutes later, he shoots me a text and was like, "Hey, I found a guy who used to be an Amazon seller, and when Amazon first had Marketplace, and he's having a garage sale, and it's all books, and there was like, I don't know, 30, 40 uh, boxes of books, and I couldn't get there because I was having a garage sale." So I said, "Give him my card. I will stop my garage sale, and I will go to his garage sale." So I did. I wrapped up my garage sale. I figured, you know, one, it was a good thing for me. He was an old time Amazon seller, so he probably has experience that I could learn from, and that might be a connection that I can make. And sure enough, we got into a business deal, and he finds me books every week, um, that are extremely profitable, and that's when it really started to kick off, and that was about May.
Mhm.
It was middle of May, end of May, something like that. Um, and then every week I get 100, 200 books from him, sometimes more.
Nice.
Um, and whatever isn't for FBA, merchant fulfilled. I started uh, I'm gonna have a booth in the flea market. I'm the only bookseller. Trying to get some social media presence going, which is slow going, but all the everybody says you kind of need it these days, and it's true.
Mhm.
If you want to
Yeah.
make it,
Helps
you
out a
gotta
lot.
have. It does, and so yeah, my week. It just depends. I wouldn't say I really put. I'm constantly thinking about it, all the time. I'm always looking for hauls. I'm looking for deals. But the once I ship things off to FBA, and I get my listing done for eBay, I'm done. Like I don't,
Mhm.
you know,
How are
so
you listing these things on Amazon?
uh, when you launched Go To Lister, that's when I really kicked it off, and I'll do I don't know, I think about 5 boxes a week.
Nice.
And it's so much easier. I tried to use Exceller list. Uh, I'm I'm computer illiterate. I have my
Mhm.
wife help me set this up.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do anything. So once Go To Lister started, I did the trial, and I was like, yeah, this is it. It's on now.
Mhm.
And it was a game changer. And it was awesome. Then I used Reprice It, but I'm trying to find something a little different. Reprice It, uh, I don't know. Reprice It is good. It's good. It does what it needs to do, but I
Yeah.
want to find something a little better.
Yeah. Well, Be Cool's good and Channel Max are both pretty good repricers. I'll show you real quick. I'll share my screen.
I did the Be Cool trial.
Did you? I mean, it's they all kind of like have the same, like you just want to basically just want to match buy box,
Signed up for that.
or like on your early inventory price a little bit higher
Yeah.
in buy box. Like for fast moving books, you can squeeze out more profit if you price higher. But I used to charge $400 for this course, but I just released it all for free. If you guys go to starthumble.com, you can access all this. And module 5 has my complete repricing strategy. It literally shows you how to set up. We use Channel Max, but you can use whatever. Channel Max is good, especially if you plan on getting into online arbitrage or wholesale or some other way of selling on Amazon, because it really does compete for buy box aggressively. But whatever repricer you have, generally with books, the first 30 to 60 days, you want to price higher than the buy box if it's a fast selling book. If it's a medium to slow selling book, just match buy box. And then after 90 days, generally you just want to like get the sale.
Yeah.
And so I actually will compete for buy box, which means like we will undercut it. A lot of people frown upon that, but hey, like 90 days, no sale. I'm trying to move my inventory. So this is our aggressive model. So after 90 days, I recommend to assign your SKUs to that model. But this course lays it out. It's 100% free. You can go to starthumble.com, and that gives you access to all these modules here. So module 1 is, we just shot this. It's a 5-day book selling workshop. I shot this summer. And then module 2, this is like tons of content on sourcing books, then how to list books, get them active on Amazon, and then setting like realistic income expectations and stuff like that. There's everything's encompassed in there. So I just released that a few days ago.
Yeah.
So
I got that. I signed up for that and interested in your repricing strategies.
yeah,
That's
it's
always
not perfect by any means. Like you'll set up the strategy, it's gonna price books too low sometimes. So but that's any repricer. Anytime you give a machine access to change your inventory's price, coupled with Amazon's limited data that they share with us, Amazon doesn't share all the pricing data because Amazon gets a lot of backlash from like the Supreme Court for like fair pricing strategies and stuff like that. They're like, you're not, or fair pricing, whatever it is, fair pricing agreements. Like Amazon is getting a lot of heat for price gouging. And so they are incentivized to make us make the prices lower. So that results in us not getting enough data. And sometimes because we don't get enough data, the repricers will price too low because they only show the low prices. They don't show the FBA prices and stuff. So,
which, and that's, I don't know. I feel like that's just part of, business anymore. I mean, you have places like Target and Walmart who, 1 cent, 2 cents lower. That's just part of business. If it's about, you want to make the money, you don't want to hold on to this stuff, especially if you're running it out of your garage like I am.
right.
It's, I try not to undercut people, but you know, it becomes the whatever we price it is going to do. I don't really check, the prices of things. I trust that it's going to work. Although although I probably should check it more often because I just realized that the reprice it, I don't know, closed my templates or something. I can't find all my templates I created.
Mm,
So, that kind of ticked me off. But it is what it is.
yeah.
Um, it's a
One,
hands-on
one,
business.
one, one more thing on pricing real quick. If you look here, so like because repricers suck, whether it's reprice at Channel Max, Be Cool, like
Mhm.
they can do what you program them to do, match buy box, whatever. But just know that like they will sell books too cheap sometimes.
Right.
Knowing that information with GoToLister, what we've done is we allow you to see when there are 0 or few offers on the FBA listing. So it'll actually turn your book purple when you list it, or item purple. Then it'll encourage you to like actually open up the listing and go check it out. So now you can actually like do some thinking, like what should I really price this at? So there's no FBA competition. This book I actually sold for $2,000, this set of books, when the lowest price was 1,300.
Nice.
Why did I sell it for 2,000? Because I was the lowest prime offer and they were the lowest offer, period, but they didn't have Prime shipping. So somebody actually just purchased this book. I don't have, here we go. Yeah, somebody just purchased this book like a few days ago.
Well, that's awesome.
And they purchased it for $2,700. So somebody just got a sale on this, but there's no FBA offers. So you can come in here and you can actually see the FBA offer was like $3,000, according to Keepa. So, but then they repriced down. So I mean, this is an example. Like like you should always check your batches with GoToLister before you send them and look for any purples.
Yep.
Because these items you can price higher. And then is your repricer going to fuck it up and reprice it too low? Maybe. That's why you could set minimum prices. That's what I recommend doing. Like if you know for sure you're going to sell a book for a certain price, set a minimum price and don't let your repricer go below that.
Yeah.
But
and
yeah.
you know, most of the books I'm getting are I shouldn't say most. A fair amount of them are higher priced books. My minimum is rather low. I'll accept a $3 profit. Because I figure bulk, it's the bread and butter stuff is really what kind of runs it. The high dollar sales are freaking cool, but as much as I want to send in as quickly as I want and how much money I would like to make, I figure, you can only find, you're only going to find that set maybe once or twice in a lifetime, unless you travel the world and, you just send pallets back to your house. But it's the lower stuff, I think, that really kind of helps keep everybody afloat. So that's why I kind of $3 is what I'll for profit as well accept. I might go lower than that if I have multiples, and sometimes I do get multiples of stuff. And there's really nothing I won't try to sell. Any duds I try not to give anymore unless it's some like antiquated book that's just trash. I'll either trash it or donate it. But I don't mind making a little less on a book when I know I'm selling 30 books a day. $3 30 times, that adds up. Especially when I don't have to ship it.
Right. So what do you think is like for people out there listening, they want to get their profit up as a complete beginner? Like, what do you think like the biggest thing that somebody can focus on to really increase their book profits are?
Consistency is super important. If you got, I mean, it's a hustle game. You gotta be out there. You gotta make connections. You gotta get to know people. I'd say the more you're out looking for books, the more books you're going to find. 98% of them aren't going to be worth anything, but eventually, if you keep at it, you're going to find what you're looking for, what you need to be successful. It's not easy. It takes a lot of time. But there's more than one way. What is this? What is it saying? That more than one way to skin a fish.
More than one way to skin a cat. Skin a fish. Yeah. Fillet of fish.
Fish are good. Fish are good. Cats, no, not so much. Yeah.
Heck yeah. Well, thanks for coming on, brother.
Yeah.
Do you have any social? You said you have social media. Do you want people to follow you there?
Yeah. So business is Noco Treasure Trove. I got Instagram. I think just Instagram, really.
Awesome. And what's your IG?
Noco Treasure Trove. I think that's
cool. We'll link that below for the people too.
Cool.
Yep. Awesome. Thanks for coming on, man.
Yep.